Train your spiritual ears to hear when God reveals your spouse to you by having or creating a close and intimate relationship with Him. Many Christian singles today don't know when God reveals their future spouses because they don't ask, and many who do ask amiss or wrongly. Now, after creating a good rapport with God, the next thing to do is to wait and just listen. This is because God never fails in His words and promises. It's just like a child who has a rich dad. Imagine if the dad tells him or her, son or daughter, "I will provide anything you want because you know I have everything I need to cater for you. All you need to do is to be obedient and follow my commands." Literally, the child will make sure to do what the dad said, and then from there, he or she relaxes and wait on the dad to do the needful. So also it is with us. God has promised to protect and guide our lives entirely. All we need to do is create a connectable channel to Him and wait for Him to give us guidelines about life itself. The book of Psalms chapter 46 verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." In other words, God is saying as far as we know that He is God, we should be still and let Him handle things for our good. When that verse is applied to finding a suitable spouse, God is saying as a Christian single, as far as you know He is God, then just wait and listen to Him reveal your spouse to you. After all, emphasis is made. The question is, does God give revelation on who to marry? Yes, but it isn't just about God making revelations about our spouses to us. It is about our understanding and knowledge of when He is making those revelations. From the book of 1 Samuel, for you to know when God is making a revelation about your spouse or anything, there are certain conditions that we're emphasized that one must meet. These include positioning yourself before God, 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 3. As a believer, for you to know if God makes revelation and for you to know whenever He makes that revelation, you must first and foremost position yourself in God. How do you do that? 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 17 teaches us how to do that. Turn off those distractions in your life and get quiet and deep with God. Find a place of regular service to God. Verse 1. An idle mind, they say, is the devil's workshop. The experience, they also say, is a great teacher. So you want to know, hear, and be familiar with God's voice? Then get yourself busy with things that have to do with His kingdom and personality. Instead of those frivolities that occupy your mind, making it impossible to wait and listen to God, why not get busy with kingdom-related things, God-like things? Take, for example, a maid who always stays at home and a daughter who hardly stays at home. Who among the two will master and know much about the happenings around the house more than the other? The maid will know more. Why? Because she stays and works around the house every day. That's how it is with us believers. Yes, God gives us revelations, but if we don't get ourselves acquainted with the things of God, we might miss it on the revelation. Listen to God's voice. Verse 2. The next thing to do is to learn to listen. Most Christians are busy with God-like things, but they don't know how to listen to God speak. Whenever we make prayers, let's learn to stay in silence even as we hear the Spirit whisper to our spirit in answer to our prayers. Don't be too desperate for a spouse that you can't wait in silence for your revelation. The concept of waiting isn't an easy thing to practice. The Bible encourages us that inasmuch as we have made our request known to God, then we should just wait and await our revelations and answers. Respond urgently. Verse 4. I and you as humans will love it that whenever we make a communication, let there be a response. How will it feel if you were talking to a person and that person, after hearing whatever you said, did not respond to you? God made us in His image. What this means is that we feel and act similarly to God. Samuel didn't know how to respond to God, and so God never gave him the revelation He has for him. till he was appropriately taught how to respond to God effectively. Therefore, even though God does reveal our spouses to us, we must learn to respond to the revelation given to us. Read and study the Word of God. Verse 21, Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. God, being a supreme yet being, did not leave us hopeless on how to wait and listen to Him. That is why He made a manual, which is the Bible, on Himself and everything concerning us. If you don't study the Word of God, you won't be able to even know whether God reveals our spouses to us or not. When you read and study the Word, you get to know the promises God made about your future spouse, and that will give you the grace and hope to wait and listen. In conclusion, God is concerned with every area of our lives as His children, including who we should marry. He knows what is best for us and has the best plan for us. He has the best idea about who you should marry. Now, because He loves you dearly and knows what is best for you, He decides that if only you will know Him as God and suit in totality to Him, then He will reveal a spouse that is His will for you. Just wait and listen to Him. As a child of God, the message for you today is to ask God for a spouse in prayer. Make yourself available to Him, get acquainted with Him, listen to His voice when He speaks, respond to what He says urgently, and lastly, always abide and dwell in the abundance of His Word, the Bible. One feature of God that differentiates Him from other gods is that He is for us, while others are for their gods. Therefore, God is saying to you and I, relax, wait and listen to me, give you your revelation on your intending spouse, and He definitely will do it. May God teach you to wait and listen to Him as He makes the revelation of your intending spouse to you. God is also a guide. He wants to lead you to the right person. He wants to protect you from bad spouses, so the plan and purpose He has for you won't be tarnished. Even in our today's world or church, there are so many testimonies of people to whom God revealed their spouse to them and it worked for them. Hearing God as a single Christian person should be a habit and a routine. If hearing God about your intending spouse is the only time you hear from God, then you are not hearing from God. Instead, you are likely hearing your emotions or even the devil. Hearing from God about anything sorely depends on your intimacy with Him. As you grow in a relationship with God, whenever He speaks, you just know He is the one speaking. Like, you will just have this innermost confirmation that this is God.